Switch sides. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Imani Ma'at Kynes.
I'm J. Bernard Ma'at Kynes.
And we are Progressively Yours Health and Wellness Podcast. And we'd like to welcome all of our viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. It's going to be fun and informative.
Yes, we have a wonderful guest this evening. But prior to bringing her forward to share with us about chakra meditation, we want to offer a brief meditative moment. I had intentions of bringing my other bowl tonight and to give you a different note to hear, but I was rushing out of my office and I forgot it, so I will go back to the ting shawls. As I strike the ting shawls, Imani will do a brief reading right after the third tone. But as we begin, I'd like to invite you, if you wish to participate, to just close your eyes and take in 3 cleansing breaths, as I like to refer to them, in and out through the nose, and begin to relax your body as we honor and welcome our ancestors to be with us and cover our show and those of you who are with us.
Thank you, Bernard. This is a piece by Tabitha Moonhouse, who was our guest last week, from her book Ouroboros. And we covered a number of things from this wonderful book of poetry last week. This one is called Patience. And I thought it was apropos for, again, all that's going on in the world that is unsettling and disturbing and very chaotic for a lot of people. Patience. I don't know what's coming my way. I do know it's time for me to be still and to stay. I don't do this often, but I think I'm supposed to pray. When I do, God tells me it's going to be okay. So I wait. I'm patient. What is this for? So many things keep happening, like something is trying to burst through my door. I'm confused and I don't know what to think anymore. It's kind of scary and I don't know why. I know that the universe has got me. There's no reason to cry. And that was from Tabitha's book. Ouroboros, there's no reason to cry.
Ashe.
Namaste.
We have a wonderful guest. I met her this past Saturday at a conference where I was attending to receive continuing eds and was thoroughly informed with her presentation. And I asked if she would consider coming to our show and offering the same presentation. Not as long, obviously, as in the workshop because we only have 1 hour. So I'm delighted to introduce our guest tonight. Dr. Shama Panjwani has a private practice, SoHolisticEnergy counseling and consultation. She provides clinical services to clients and supervisees. She also provides consulting services to businesses and organizations on daily and wellness. Dr. Shama has a PhD in Counselor Education and Supervision from Mercer University with a specialization in cross-cultural psychology and leadership. Her research presentations and publication focus on the topics such as reducing mental health stigma, immigration, acculturation, trauma, social justice, and advocacy. I'm sorry. Yeah, multiculturalism and diversity, crisis counseling, as well as approaches used to increase cross-cultural awareness and leadership skills within academia and institutions. She also focuses on mindfulness meditation as well as holistic wellness integration in her work. She has been working in the mental health field for more than 8 years. She is an author and a speaker. She is actively involved in doing workshops and presentations with her religious community to create awareness around mental health related topics. It is our honor and our pleasure and privilege to present to you and introduce and welcome to the show, Dr. Shama.
Hey, thank you for having me here.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for joining and being with us. We are so happy that you were able to be with us on such a quick turnaround. As I indicated on Saturday, we had a wonderful, I had a wonderful experience in your presentation, and thank you for your gracious acceptance of our invitation to join us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the ways, as I shared with you the run of show, like we'll go ahead and get into our time, but before we get into the heart of the matter, tell us a little bit about your early childhood story. And I always go up to age 12, and when I ask that question, so just kind of free associate and give us something brief that you would like the audience to know about you.
Sure, absolutely. And I think this will also inform why I do some of the research that I do. But I was born in Hyderabad. It's a city in India. And I moved here when I was 9. My parents moved here when I was 7. I came 2.5 years later. I was living with my aunt and uncle up until that point. And just a little bit about what happened for me before I moved to the US was I was really interested in just getting education. My resilience factor and things that kept me going was going to school and just learning as much as I could. And fast forward, I'm age 9 and I come to the US. I've been in Atlanta since then. And I don't think I really had too many challenges fitting in terms of my language. But I am an immigrant, and there are definitely challenges with being an immigrant in the US, and I've experienced them. And so some of my research and some of the population that I work with is informed by my experiences and in terms of that. Besides that, I'm not really sure what else to share, but I think that might be good.
Mm-hmm. Which do you want me to?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I was going to follow up with who is during that time period. Who would you say
Biggest
inspired
influence.
you and biggest influence on your life during that time?
That's a hard one to answer because I had a childhood up until the age of 12. It was a little broken, and there were times that I don't really remember. And when I say it was a little broken, I'm saying that because, again, I was in India and then I was here. And in the midst of that, I was with my parents for a period of time, then I wasn't, and then I was with them again. I do have an older brother who I look up to. So if I had to pick someone, I would say it's him. And we're about 6 years apart. So I think having him around, at least when I was in India and before I moved here without my parents, was helpful, even though we were both kids. And, it's just someone protective to look over me in some ways. So that was nice and comforting.
Okay, wonderful. So tell us a little bit about your work and what you enjoy most of your work life.
Sure. So currently, as you all read in my introduction, I'm a practicing counselor, practicing supervisor, and counselor educator. So I do see clients who come to me due to multiple different reasons. Could be related to their culture, could be very much trauma focused. And the presentation I'm going to be doing today on mindfulness and meditation is something I incorporate in my work with my clients, and I do presentations on them as Bernard attended the presentation on Saturday. In addition to that, I'm also a counselor educator at Kaiser University. It's a university in Florida, so I work for them remote as a faculty for their clinical mental health counseling program. So I teach master's students on how to be effective counselors and work with people who do come from diverse backgrounds, have different cultural groups and identities that they relate to.
Thank you. Well, why don't we move right into your presentation, and that way you can tell the audience what chakra mindfulness meditation is, and it's an art form, and go for it.
Sure. Do it. All right. So what I'm going to be doing in this presentation is talking about meditation, talking about mindfulness, the difference between the two, and then specifically talking about chakra meditation, which is only one form of meditation. There are many different kinds that people can utilize that may work for them. Something I do want to mention is meditation and mindfulness does take a lot of practice. It's not something that people can just start and say, okay, I'm an expert at it. It does require practice and patience, and it can be challenging for some people. So, what is meditation? It can be defined as a set of techniques. So, what it does is it leads to increased awareness. A lot of us go through life thinking that we know ourselves, thinking that we know enough about what we want, where we come from, our backgrounds, what things are impacting us, what situations are impacting us. But there is a sense of awareness that's lacking in our practice that makes us miss out on certain things that are impacting us. We also live in a society where it is hard to pay attention to what we're doing in the present moment a lot of times because we have so much going on. We're always working, we're always doing something or another that requires our attention. Maybe we also have trauma in our past, or we're focused and worried about the future. So that can cause us to lose attention and lose focus, and meditation can help with gaining more of that focus and attention. In addition to that, it's also beneficial in terms of psychological well-being, because once you're aware and conscious about things that are impacting you and your life and your behaviors and your emotions, you can actively work towards making changes in your life through this meditation process. So what is mindfulness? The mindfulness aspect comes in under the umbrella of meditation. So when we're looking at mindfulness, I love this picture that you might see on the screen. A lot of us go through life, like I mentioned earlier, with so much going on in our minds. We're constantly thinking about our to-do list, maybe thinking about a conversation we just recently had that left us feeling some kind of way. Maybe we're thinking about something that happened in the past, or currently, as mentioned earlier in this podcast, we have something going on in the world that might be on our minds. And it causes our mind to be filled with things that takes us away from what's happening in the present, what's actually in front of us. So mindfulness is moment to moment awareness. We're looking at and we're focusing on what's right there, right now. And that can be hard for people to do because we're trained to focus on the past or the future or things we worry about. But it's hard for us to stay in the present. Mindfulness practice allows you to do that through different techniques. And although I'm not going to go through all those techniques, I would encourage you to look more into it if this is something you struggle with. So just a little bit of more on the difference between mindfulness and meditation. As I mentioned, meditation is more of an umbrella. It's a meta-focused process that can include mindfulness and other techniques. It allows the mind to stop rushing. It allows the mind to focus more on the thoughts and obtain mental and psychological well-being while feeling at peace. So mindfulness is one of the meditative techniques that can be used to gain that peace, gain that stress relief, and feel physically and psychologically well. A lot of the mindfulness and meditation, what it does, it allows you to connect your mind and body. It tells you what's going on for you physically, emotionally, psychologically, so that you can take better care of yourself. Mindfulness specifically, again, allows you to be aware of what's going on in the present. And it is one form of meditation. This is something else to kind of break it down even further. So again, mindfulness is something we can practice in everyday life. It just requires us to pay attention, be focused, and look at what's happening in front of us. And I can assume that you might be thinking, okay, if it was that easy to practice mindfulness, we wouldn't have difficulty concentrating, we wouldn't have difficulty focusing. And it's almost contradictory. It's almost an oxymoron to think about, okay, well, practice mindfulness so that you can be present. But in order to practice mindfulness, you have to be present. So think about it this way. If you're driving a car and you're going into a street and driving on the highway, you're going down the same route that you usually do to get home. There might be times where you find yourself losing focus and losing attention. And at the end, you end up at your home, but you forget or you don't even realize what happened during that journey. That is because you weren't mindful. You weren't paying attention because your mind was somewhere else. So mindfulness allows you to look at, okay, I'm driving. I need to focus on driving. I need to see what's going on around me, maybe focus on the cars that are near me, focus on the stores that come up as I drive. Meditation is, again, an umbrella. It's a bigger picture way of looking at how to gain awareness. If you're present, it can lead to awareness. It can lead to higher consciousness. You can utilize different techniques such as body scanning, even walking mindfully, maybe the way you're sitting. If you're sitting right now, for example, focus on how you're sitting. What's your posture like? How do the clothes you're wearing fit on you? What does the material feel like? All of that is part of mindfulness. And again, there are different ways to practice meditation and mindfulness. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is one of the specific types of meditation, which is chakra meditation. So, what are some benefits of mindfulness? In addition to helping you become aware, it can also, like I mentioned, help you connect your mind and your body. So, if you're more mindful, maybe you're more aware of any pain you might be having in your body so that you can take care of it. If you have high blood pressure, it can help you be more mindful, be more cognizant of how to bring it down. Are you feeling stressed? If there is stress, or if there are certain food items that you maybe need to avoid that could lead to high blood pressure, how can you mindfully pay attention to that? If you have a headache, for example, being present can allow you to focus on that pain and find some relief on it. It can also allow you to have increased drive for movement. So you might find yourself wanting to mindfully go on a walk and pay attention to how you feel as you walk. Do you feel energized? How's your breathing? Perhaps you already exercise. For some of us, exercise becomes a routine. For others, exercise could be an intentional outlet. When we talk about mindfulness, movement is intentional. You're doing that movement so that you can get the benefit of, okay, how is this serving me? Is this energizing me? How is this helping my body? Then there's also mindfulness as it relates to finances. Maybe you're becoming more aware of how much you're spending so that you can budget better. There's mindful eating. So, again, related to your body and how you feel, because nutrition is connected to your mood and your energy. What you put in your body does impact how you feel. So if you're eating healthy and you're being mindful about what you're putting in your body, it's directly impacting your psychological well-being. In addition to that, there's also, of course, increased self-awareness. And what that means is, yes, you may know yourself, but do you fully know yourself? And when I say that, what I mean is there are going to be parts of you where you have blind spots. And being mindful, being aware, being present is going to help you know better about yourself. It also leads to better stress management skills. When you meditate, you're able to sit in silence. You're able to just be present with your breath, or maybe there's a mantra that you use, a phrase or a word that resonates with you. And when you're giving yourself that time, you're giving yourself some me time. You're using that time to say, hey, everything else in the world will be there. All the worries, all the to-do lists, everything that I have to do is going to be there. Taking 5 minutes of my time to focus on me and my breathing and how I feel and tuning in for myself may help me know, okay, what do I need to do? Am I stressed? What's stressing me out? How can I manage this? Am I hungry? Do I need to eat? Is there pain in my body that needs to be addressed? Being mindful also, because you're being present, can allow you to have a better memory. A lot of us could be going through life feeling forgetful, and part of that is because we're not present. When we're present, it allows us to focus. It allows us to pay attention to what people are saying, what things are happening around us, maybe even visually know what's going on, and that stays with us. Meditation also allows us to have kindness and compassion towards others and ourselves. Sometimes we go through life and we have all this negative thinking, we have negative thoughts. We might think that, and I have clients who sometimes think this way, where they think they're not worthy, they don't deserve something, and they're really hard on themselves. But they forget to look at what's actually working for them. That gratitude piece doesn't automatically come for some people. And being mindful and practicing meditation, even for a few minutes a day, can help people feel better about themselves and about other people. So overall, it can help with anxiety, it can help with depression, it can also possibly help you sleep better. How many of us might go to bed thinking about things, not able to shut our minds off? Practicing meditation or mindfulness right as you go to sleep can help you focus on your breath and set an intention of getting rest and focusing on getting that rest as you slow down your breathing so that you can fall asleep. So now I'm going to talk more about chakra meditation. Again, this is one form of meditation, and it focuses on connecting the mind and the body using the energetic fields that surround us. The chakras, although we have many different types of chakras in our body, I'm going to be focusing on 7 chakras that center around psychic energy and are located and are associated with different parts of our body. Each chakra is also associated with different colors because of its vibrational frequency that the energetic field creates and the significance of the chakra itself. When the chakras are open, that's when we can possibly experience comfort, bliss, but then we also have chakras that are blocked. When chakras are blocked, that's when we maybe experience some physical ailments in those areas. Perhaps we even experience some psychological issues in those areas. And I'm going to talk more about what each area signifies so that you have a clear understanding of it. So, as I mentioned, there are 7 chakras, and I think of the chakra colors as the rainbow colors. When we were younger, we were taught Roy G. Biv as a way to remember rainbow. So, looking at the chakras, we're looking at red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The red chakra, which is the root chakra, is the chakra you find at the very bottom. It's by the tailbone and connects downwards to the feet and roots to the ground. The root chakra, which is red, is related to our basic instincts, our safety, our security, how we feel, how we trust others. Are we rooted, as the name sounds? Do we feel safe and secure in the position we're in? Whether that relates to finances, whether that relates to, do we even have a home to go back to? Do we have a roof over our head? So root chakra, which is again red, is found at the tailbone and below and is associated with safety and security. Then you have the orange chakra, which is the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is found right below your belly button. So it encompasses all the body parts and organs that are found there, which is usually the uterus, the prostate, the sexual organs, and it's associated with creativity, sexuality, our needs related to those areas being met. Are we experiencing health issues there for people, for example, for women who might be experiencing fertility issues or maybe issues related to their menstrual cycles? They can find something being blocked there. Then we have the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow, and it's related to wisdom, power, and emotions. How do we feel? Oftentimes we find ourselves getting jittery or having those butterflies, or we say we have a gut feeling or anxiety, which can also be found in that area. This is the area right below your heart and above your belly button. And this is where you feel your power, your emotions, and can tune into that. And you also want to pay attention to, how does your stomach feel? Are you having any internal issues there in terms of your body? And then the other thing I want to make sure I mention is the energetic field goes all around you. It's not just in the front. So the pain could be also in the back. Then you have the heart chakra, which is green. And just like the name says, it's found near the heart, the chest, and it's associated with love and healing. This could be self-love. It could be love towards others. It could be if you've experienced some sort of heartbreak or trauma that you're healing from, grief that you're healing from. That would be found here. If you have any issues in your heart, that could be associated with trauma if we're talking about psychological well-being. It could be associated with grief. But it could also mean that, hey, maybe there's something going on with my heart that I need to go to a cardiologist for. So again, that mind-body connection could be going on if you think that the chakra that's blocked is the heart chakra. Next, there's the throat chakra, which is blue. It's like the name sounds, it's by your throat, and it's associated with communication. When you feel like you don't have a voice, when you think that you don't have the ability to speak up, perhaps you're scared of speaking up or advocating for yourself, you may find this to be blocked. If there's something holding you back from saying something, or even if you're experiencing medical issues around that area related to your neck or throat, that could mean that your throat chakra is blocked. Next, you have the third eye chakra. So the third eye chakra is found by your forehead, kind of in between your eyebrows, a little bit above it, and it's blue, indigo color. And it just talks about your awareness, your intuition, how much do you trust what you know, and do you know? So when we talk about mindfulness, or when I talked about mindfulness earlier, when you practice mindfulness and being present, it is aiding with opening up your third eye chakra. Lastly, there's the crown chakra. So the crown chakra, just like we place a crown over our head, is located on the top of our head. And it is the color violet or purple. And it's associated with spirituality. And I know some people might not believe in religion or spirituality, but if you do, great. If you don't, think of it also as your connection to whatever it is that you believe in. So when you practice meditation, your ultimate goal is to align all 7 of these chakras and open them up so that you can feel secure, you can trust, you can have your creative needs met, your sexual needs met, you feel like you have power, you have self-love and love for others, you communicate without fear, you're aware, and you're connected to your whole being as well as others around you in the universe. This next slide kind of breaks it down even more. I've already kind of talked about it, but if you think about it, again, it goes from red, which is the root chakra, then you have the sacral chakra, then you have the solar plexus, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra. It's possible that some chakras in the middle are the ones that are not aligned. It's possible that some chakras are blocked, that are not following a linear pattern, and that's okay. It does not mean that just because your root chakra is open, meaning you feel safe, you feel grounded, you know you have a right to live, and you have a roof over your head, you feel secure, you feel safe, that something else might not be out of alignment. So your goal when you're practicing this meditation is to really tune in with yourself, how you feel physically and how you feel emotionally, to be able to know which chakra might be blocked so that you can take care of it. You can maybe figure out ways to bring it back into alignment and open it up. And at the end of this podcast, before we end for today, I am going to do a small practice with you all and hope that maybe this will help you kind of get an understanding of what might be going on for you. Some people, when they practice this meditation, also see a color that can also tell them maybe that's the color that's strong, or maybe that's the color that needs attention and love from them. And with that, I think we're going to open it up for questions. You're muted, Dr. Imani.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Just so excited to be able to interact with you. That was powerful.
Yeah.
You know, we hear about the chakras, we hear about meditation, we hear about mindfulness. One of my favorite quotes is, and I'm sure it was Thich Nhat Hanh, the philosopher, who said, "When walking, walk." You know, when I find myself multitasking and doing 6 things at the same time and boiling water to the point of burning up the pot and, you know, just trying to do everything, I say, when walking, walk, slow down and focus. And so all of that is covered by this, what you've mentioned. And so I was thinking, and I know the answer because I'm kind of putting all the pieces together, but you said to acknowledge and to open our chakras. And that's when you're at your greatest strength and wellness and mindfulness. And so the way that you acknowledge and open them is through the meditation, right? That's one way to get there, to balance all of the chakras, right?
Yes, meditation does help you open it up. Meditation does help you and become aware of the block first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you're aware of the block, you have to evaluate and assess, okay, what's causing the block? Sometimes people aren't aware what it could be, whether it's something psychological that needs attention or whether it's something actually physical that needs attention. And that's where the mind-body connection takes place, because it could be physical that's causing the block.
Right.
So meditation is basically helping you become aware of the block and what's causing the block so that you can work towards not only bringing it back in alignment and opening it up, but also addressing whatever it is.
Okay, that sounds good.
Say more about awareness, and in terms of you saying being aware. I wrote awareness, and can you expound just on what it means to be aware in the moment by moment element?
Yeah. So being aware, I know that could be a vague term for some people, or it can look different for different people. Being aware in the moment means you're noticing what's going on for you as it's going on. And that takes practice. A lot of times people are focused on the external, but not internal. And what I mean by that is, let's say I am drinking water. As I'm drinking the water, I'm focusing on, okay, it's automatic, right? We drink water every day. We open the bottle up or whatever it is that you're using, and we're putting it to our mouth, and it just goes in. Paying attention to that and noticing that, okay, how's my thirst? How does this water feel as I'm drinking it? Do I feel like this is helping my thirst? Do I feel it's filling me up? Is this cold? So noticing all those little factors. Another example would be breathing. It's so automatic. When we're breathing, we're not paying attention to how it feels unless we're going through seasonal changes and one of our nostrils are blocked, right? And at that time we're like, oh, I can't breathe. That's when we realize how important breathing is. So that constant awareness of, as I inhale, how do I feel? As I exhale, am I relaxing my body, or am I letting go of whatever it is that I'm holding on to? So paying more attention to every little act that we do is part of awareness.
Gotcha. Thank you. We're going to prepare to move into your exercise. We're at 40 minutes within the show. I just want to add, and you can expound on this, that what you're sharing with us takes practice to until it turns into a habit.
Mhm.
And so as opposed to thinking I have to be disciplined to meditate, it really is just creating a habit that I actively engage in every day. I was in a workshop with John Kabat-Zinn during COVID, and he said for him, early in the morning, even though there's no right or wrong way to do this, he said early in the morning before he gets out of the house, he's going to find some time, and the time could be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. Some people have the idea that meditation means I got to sit in one place for 30 minutes to an hour.
Right.
It could be 3, 5, 10 minutes, whatever one needs to just become mindful and aware of body and self.
Mhm.
And what do you say to that?
I absolutely agree with that. Meditation and mindfulness, as I mentioned at the beginning, it is challenging for some people, and so they don't want to do it because they don't think it's going to help them, or they feel that it's too hard, or it's hard to find time to do it. But it is something, just like we make it a habit to eat every day, or shower every day, or go to work every day. It's something we feel we have to do. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, why can't this be something you think you have to do? And in order to do it, you have to start somewhere. And that could be a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be more than that to get started. And something that we also do as humans is we judge ourselves and our thoughts that come up while we sit in silence.
Right.
We're sitting in silence and we're judging ourselves. If a thought pops up in our minds and we're saying, oh no, wait, I need to be doing this. This shouldn't be happening. It's okay that it's happening.
Right.
Just acknowledge it and say, okay, let me come back to my breath and be present.
Yeah. We had Denise Creekmore, one of our friends. She said it's good to journal your results and practices, kind of keeping track of where you are and your reactions and stuff. So I know a lot of people journal for different reasons, but that might be a good use of journaling in terms of getting better at practicing mindfulness and meditation.
Absolutely. You want to record what's coming up for you so that you can remember it and you can do what you need to address it, to heal from it. Even as we do the meditation, the guided practice I'm going to do today or tonight, I encourage people who are doing this to journal what comes up for them afterwards.
Good.
So how much time do you want to take in doing the practice?
It may just be 5 minutes, just to be respectful of everyone's time.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Judy, another good friend, Judy says true about the breathing and the journaling, but she says sometimes when she's meditating, it's the only time her lungs get a healthy dose of oxygen in the morning. She'll stop and meditate. And I also do a breathing class, Art of Living Foundation. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they have a daily practice where we breathe and meditate. And it's so good. It's such a nice way to start the day. So,
yeah. Absolutely, it's a great way to begin your morning. Also allows you to set your intentions for the day, the tone for the day. Kind of check in with yourself as well in the morning to see what's going on for you.
So true.
So why don't we move into it? Take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and Judy says I have 10 minutes, so maybe she wants 10 minutes of good mindfulness meditation.
Thanks, Umi.
And then we'll have time at the end to come back and have closing questions. And I don't know if we said it before we came on, but when we end the show, we'd like for you to stay after with us for a few moments.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Shama, we're going to mute, and it's on you.
Okay. And I'm just going to turn my camera off while I do this. Great. So I want everyone to just make yourselves comfortable. If you're seated, just allow your back to be straight but not stiff. Have your feet flat on the ground. You could also do this practice standing if that's what you prefer. Or if you want to be even more comfortable, you can lie down and have your head supported. Your hands could be resting gently in your lap or at your side. Allow your eyes to close or to remain open with a soft gaze. Do whatever's comfortable for you. And as I take you through this, perhaps pay attention to the different chakras I talked about earlier and notice if any colors come up for you in terms of what you could be feeling or what could be going on for you. Take several long, slow, deep breaths, breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your stomach expand on an inhale and relax and let go as you exhale. Begin to let go of noises around you. Begin to shift your attention from outside to inside yourself. If you're distracted by sounds in the room, simply notice this and bring your focus back to your breathing. Inhale slowly and fully, and exhale through your mouth. Now slowly bring your attention down to your feet. Begin observing sensations in your feet. You might want to wiggle your toes a little, feeling your toes against your socks or shoes or the ground. Just notice without judgment. You might imagine sending your breath down to your feet, as if the breath is traveling through the nose to the lungs and through the abdomen all the way to your feet. And then back up again, out through your lungs and nose. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all, and that's fine too. Just allow yourself to feel the sensation of not feeling anything. When you're ready, allow your feet to dissolve in your mind's eye and move your attention up to your ankles, calves, knees, and thighs. Observe the sensations you're experiencing throughout your legs. Breathe into and breathe out of the legs. If your mind begins to wander during this exercise, gently notice this without judgment and bring your mind back to noticing the sensations in your legs. If you notice any discomfort, pain, or stiffness, don't judge this. Just simply notice it. Observe how all sensations rise and fall, shift and change, moment to moment. Notice how no sensation is permanent. Just observe and allow the sensations to be in the moment, just as they are. Breathe into and out from the legs. Then on the next exhale, allow the legs to dissolve in your mind and move to the sensations in your lower back and pelvis, softening and releasing as you breathe in and out. Slowly move your attention up to your mid-back and upper back. Become curious about the sensations here. You may become aware of sensations in the muscle, temperature, or points of contact with the furniture or the bed. With each exhale, you may let go of tension you're carrying. And then very gently shift your focus to your stomach and all the internal organs here. Perhaps you notice the feeling of the clothing, the process of digestion, or the belly rising or falling with each breath. If you notice opinions arising about these areas, gently let these go and return to noticing sensations. As you continue to breathe, bring your awareness to the chest and heart region and just notice your heartbeat. Observe how the chest rises during the inhale and how the chest falls during the exhale. Let go of any judgments that may arise. On the next exhale, shift the focus to your hands and fingertips. See if you can channel your breathing into and out of this area as if you're breathing into and out from your hands. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the sensations in your hands. On the next exhale, shift the focus and bring your awareness up into your arms. Observe the sensations or lack of sensations that may be occurring there. You might notice some difference between the left arm and the right arm. No need to judge this. Simply observe. As you exhale, you may experience the arm soften and release tensions. Continue to breathe and shift focus to the neck, shoulder, and throat region. This is an area where we often have tension. Be with the sensations here. It could be tightness, rigidity, or holding. You may notice the shoulders moving along with the breath. Let go of any thoughts or stories you're telling yourself about this area. As you breathe, you may feel tension rolling off your shoulders. On the next exhale, shift your focus and direct your attention to the scalp, head, and face. Observe all the sensations occurring there. Notice the movement of the air as you breathe into or out of the nostrils or mouth. As you exhale, you might notice the softening of any tension you may be holding. And now, let your attention expand out to include the entire body as a whole. Bring into your awareness the top of your head down to the bottom of your toes. Feel the gentle rhythm of the breath as it moves through the body. Take a full, deep breath, taking in all the energy of this practice, and exhale fully. Take another deep breath and feel yourself exhaling all the tension you've been carrying. As you come to the end of this practice, take a final full deep breath and exhale fully through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and return your attention to the present moment. As you become fully alert and awake, consider setting the intention that this practice of building awareness will benefit everyone you come in contact with. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes.
Very soothing. Thank you. And we could just do a quick scan to see if there are any questions or comments from our viewers. I see Ashe, and
Ashe.
yeah, people are grateful for that. Do you do these meditations on a regular basis? Do you ever lead a group in doing the meditation other than through your practice with your clients?
So that is something I plan to do. I have not started doing it yet. I've done it with my students, but I have not done a formal group just for meditation at this time.
Okay. Something to consider. It is so soothing. I'm sure people will get the benefit from that.
So is it normal to perspire?
Yes, that can happen. It just means that there may have been, and this might be something you might want to check in with yourself about as to what could be going on. It could be your body's way of releasing whatever was going on for you through perspiration.
Great.
And Umi
This
said
was
she
great.
saw
Thank you
purple.
all.
And Umi saw purple near the end.
Okay, so you felt connected. That's awesome.
That's nice.
Would you be open to returning to our show sometime in the future and perhaps doing a 15 to 20-minute version of this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would be honored.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And are there any other questions or comments?
Yeah, we don't want to do too much talking after that.
I know.
It's like just beautiful.
We're grateful for you being here and sharing that with us. Dr. Shama, thank you. Thank you so much.
We bow down. So, audience, those who are with us, we're going to end, and we want to thank you. Yes?
Absolutely. Thank you, both Dr. Shama and our audience for participating and coming on board. And the nice thing about this is all of the shows are recorded, so people can actually replay that whenever they like on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube channels. So someone said, I saw green and I'm getting ready to undergo heart procedures. Ooh, so it makes sense. Wow. All right. I think that was Denise. Thank you for that. And all the best with your surgery for sure. So with that, we're going to end the show. You're going to do the tingsha and close us out? All right. Thank you all.
Dr. Shama, hang around with us for a few moments. Thank you. And we'll see you all next week.